All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth, with Ben Jokes. Tinubu APC governors endorse 7 minister as new national chairman. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Nentawe Yiwada, has been named the new national chairman of the All Progressive Congress. Now, the APC has finally replaced Ganduje, who resigned some weeks ago, and they have replaced him with another person of questionable character, the minister who supersedes one of the most corrupt ministries in Nigeria, the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry. We are all aware how under the Buhari regime, billions of naira, several billions of naira was looted using that same ministry. We saw how Beta Edu also looted hundreds of millions using that ministry, and this man is not any different. He has been rolling out figures of Nigerians who have received aids from the federal government, but you and I know that nobody has received anything. So it is the same story within the APC, but of course, you know, there is nobody within that party that can be chosen as the chairman that has credibility, and this is why Nigerians must make up their minds to get this party that is so infested with corruption that you can't find a single person that is clean out by 2027. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that disgraceful rumor coming out of the National Assembly. Senate President Godswill Akpabio allegedly got into a heated argument with the Senate leader Bamidele, and they almost went physical. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that heavy protest from Zamfara state capital against the Tinubu administration began making the rounds. Tinubu's popularity continues to diminish in northern Nigeria day by day. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video by ex-governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Siraki Dixon, taking a dig at Tinubu while he praised Buhari. See the video.
President Buhari, to his credit, even when we went to the Supreme Court, to his credit, President Buhari, whose advance team was already in Bayelsa for the inauguration of the APC candidate that had been declared officially, he never called the Supreme Court to reverse or to throw away our case. The following that less than 24 hours, he was to go. His advance team was there. The Supreme Court gave a judgment directing that his own candidate of his party was disqualified. President Buhari obeyed, congratulated us, and when he met the governor, only cracked a joke. So you and your boss own the judiciary more than me. He laughed. So that was the basic decency of the man.
You saw that. Ex-governor of Bayelsa State and sitting senator there, proving that ex-president Buhari's interference with the Supreme Court judgment was minimal. Yes, there was interference, but he is trying to say it was minimal. You can see PDP governors, decamping to the APC in today's Nigeria. But what we forget is that many of those governors won their elections when Buhari was in power. Who is the PDP governor? Who is the person that can run under PDP today and he will win an election with Tinubu in power? And it is such a disgrace. I never believed that after just 2 years in office, it will become very, very clear that Buhari, as bad as he was a better leader than Tinubu. This is so shameful. And I am just scanning through all the facets of leadership. I have not seen a single facet where Tinubu is better than Buhari. If we come to the area of the economy, Buhari was better, because when IMF told Buhari to remove subsidy, he said he will not remove it because he does not know what to do that will alleviate the sufferings of the people, like subsidy payments. That was his own argument. But we have a Tinubu who does not even know his left from right, yet immediately he pulled out subsidy and began sharing the money to governors and lawmakers. Then in the area of the rule of law, yes, Buhari also had a hold on the Supreme Court, but at least once in a while, he released that hold. but Tinubu's own is just firm. He tried his best to take Kano State. It was the Kano State governor and the people of Kano that refused. It is such a shame. And this is why I keep telling Nigerians that this man must not be allowed in office beyond 2027. If he stays in office beyond 2027, this country will be so damaged that even a decade of good leadership might not be able to fix it. Now, let us get to the top stories. First is that story coming out of the National Assembly. Senate President Godswill Akpabio got into a heated debate with Senate leader Bamidele and they almost went physical. And next is that heavy protest in Zamfara state capital Gusau against the failure of the Tinubu regime in the area of insecurity. They said bandits have taken over the state and something must be done. Let's start by taking that update involving Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Senate leader Senator Bamidele. Look at how the papers reported it. Exclusive. Senate President Akpabio, Senate leader Okpeyemi in shouting match during heated exchange nearly come to blows. The tension erupted during an executive session convened to deliberate on whether to adjourn the current legislative sitting this week or next week for the Senate's traditional 2-month annual recess. Source told reporters that disagreements among the leaders over the adjournment plan led to visible cracks within the chamber's top hierarchy. It was learnt that Senator Ali Ndume, in a pointed observation, criticized the Senate leadership for failing to hold a prior meeting to unify their position before bringing the matter to the floor. Ndume's comments appeared to ignite long-simmering frustrations as Senate leader Bamidele publicly voiced his displeasure with Senate President Akpabio's leadership style. I am frustrated as Senate leader working under Senate President Akpabio, Bamidele reportedly said in the heated session. He does not call leadership meetings. He doesn't consult anyone. He is autocratic. In fact, I am contemplating resigning as Senate leader. Akpabio, visibly angered by Bamidele's remarks, fired back sharply. Senator Okpeyemi should sit down. He cannot speak while I'm speaking. I am in charge here, Akpabio reportedly yelled. I have served as commissioner, 2-term governor, Senate minority leader, and a powerful minister. I know the Senate rules and leadership more than you. Efforts to reach the chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, were unsuccessful as his phone line was unreachable and he was offline on WhatsApp. When they mess up like this, they will switch off their phones. How I wish they actually went physical and Bamidele was able to land a good punch on Akpabio. I think he deserves it. I have every reason to believe this coming from the APC because it is a party of rascals. When you see them gathered at that Senate, you know that these people are not even here for serious business. They don't take anything seriously there. That was why Akpabio could sit down there and declare Tinubu's burial and thank Nigerians for giving him a befitting burial. And he didn't even jack back to consciousness. He had to be reminded by other people. The same thing happened the day he was talking about sending money into their accounts. He didn't notice. It was someone else that had to tell him before he now changed it to sending prayers into their accounts. This tells you how unconscious the man is of his environment. He doesn't revere the seat that he's sitting down on because he didn't get there by merit. If we had a decent judiciary, Akpabio wouldn't even be at the Senate. And that was why they were able to reject a court ruling that ordered the reinstatement of Senator Natasha, because the judiciary has completely lost regard before the Senate. What a shame. A bunch of rascals taking over the government of Nigeria. Now, is he going to suspend Senator Bamidele the way he suspended Natasha for just speaking back at him? This one wanted to trade punches with him. Is he going to suspend him? No, he can't, because Bamidele is Tinubu's right-hand man. Or could it be that Senator Bamidele was angry with Akpabio declaring Tinubu dead on the floor of the Senate? This is so interesting to me because anything that brings chaos within the APC gives me joy. And I hope that this party will continue to have this chaos until the party will eventually implode. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that heavy protest from Zamfara state capital Gusau over the failure of this government in the area of security began making the rounds. See the video.
The renewed armed bandits' attack on communities, abductions and killings in Zamfara state have posed concern to members of the troubled rural communities who want to return to their farms, but the bandits will not allow them. This development is what is responsible for the protest in the street of Gusau, capital city of Zamfara, as the protesters chant different songs in Hausa language. Our lives are what we want. Government, help us with security agents. They decry that there is no presence of troops in their communities, leaving the violent armed groups to unleash terror and impose levies on them before they can access their farms. One elderly man who is between the ages of 70 tells a heart-wrenching story of his 3 sons who have been taking care of him and were killed by bandits, leaving him with nothing, and now the bandits have stormed their community and displaced them.
We are
paying ransom ranging from 1 to 4 million naira to bandits just to secure the release of our loved ones. Troops have been deployed to other communities, but in ours, there are no security personnel stationed to protect us or our property. That is why we have come to appeal to the government to deploy security agents. What we are asking from the government is simple. Provide us with security so we can return to our farms and resume food production. We urgently need security to intervene. Most can no longer sleep in our homes because of the worsening insecurity. Just this Wednesday morning, several members of our communities were killed in a fresh attack, and many others were displaced. The situation is terrifying. That is why we have come out in protests to let the government hear our cry and take immediate action.
You saw that. Very touching stories there. An old man who can no longer walk lost 3 of his sons who were taking care of him. Even if those sons were not taking care of him, how do you lose 3 sons? And we have seen several stories like this. They said the community was attacked recently. That was why they came out saying enough is enough. But unfortunately, the government is not going to come through for you. This has been going on for how many years now under the APC? Over 10 years now. These people are not coming through for you. They said the security forces are not even in sight anymore. And I can tell that even the soldiers are tired. These are soldiers that are not even well taken care of. Denied allowances, denied wages and all that. Even weapons to confront these insurgents and fight the war head on, they don't have it. So how are you going to fight under such morale? This is the country that we have found ourselves, but we can change it. I believe strongly that some of the people protesting there today were part of those who clamored for a Muslim ticket. After 8 years of Buhari disaster, it was shocking that going into the 2023 election, we still made it a religious affair. And then some people were saying Muslim ticket. Now you have it. And look at what is happening in your states. Muslim states are even the most hit by this issue of insecurity. And then we are going into another election again in 2027. Are we still going to allow this same issue of tribe and religion to take precedence over capacity, over people who have shown good knowledge of the problems and how to solve them? We shouldn't do that. If anyone is watching today and you still have a soft spot for the APC, wherever you are from in this country, I beg you, stop it. You know it is wrong. You know it is wrong. You know that these people are destructive. Think back. Since they came into this country, since they took over, since the party was even formed in 2014, that was when all these problems started at this scale. These people's hands are not clean in these issues. Please stop it. Stop being an accomplice. If all Nigerians can put their foot down and say we want a better Nigeria, the first thing we'll all be clamoring for is to get the APC out of power. And I promise you that when we do that, in a matter of months, we will begin to see progress. And that's why I'm also appealing to the ADC, the coalition ADC. Field His Excellency Peter Obi. This man has shown good knowledge of the problems of this country. And he ticks other boxes better than all the other candidates. So what are we looking at here? What are we talking about? Let us just do the right thing and save this country. How can bandits in a state capital be reigning supreme? It shows that governance is failing brutally. They are taking over. And for us to stop this, we need to begin to tell ourselves the truth. The APC has failed massively. A large number of the party members have a hand in these attacks. And that is why I am telling Nigerians that we will never be able to surmount this problem of insurgency with the same people that have created it. Let us come together, cast our sentiments aside, and get the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.